auto air conditioning systems at a glance. Automotive air conditioning came about in the 1940s. Since then, technologies, such as computerized automatic temperature control, which allow you to set the desired temperature automatically, have added a great deal of complexity to today's modern air conditioning system. Also, we now have tough environmental regulations that regulate all tasks, such as recharging the system with refrigerant, evacuating and charging the PAG oil needed by the compressor. All this due to scientific studies that have proven the damaging effects of refrigerant to our ozone layer. Today's automotive technician is required to be certified to purchase refrigerant and repair your air conditioner. The shop must also incur the cost of purchasing expensive dedicated equipment that ensures the capture of these ozone-depleting chemicals. Basic knowledge of your air conditioning system is important, as this will allow you to make a more informed decision on your repair options. Modern air conditioning or HVAC systems are composed of the following: compressor, condenser, evaporator, orifice tube, expansion valve, receiver dryer, or accumulator. If your car has an orifice tube, it will not have an expansion valve, as these two devices serve the same purpose. Also, you will either have a receiver dryer, or an accumulator, but not both. The basic principle of an air conditioning is that a refrigerant liquid is pressurized, passed through a condenser to be cooled down, then through the receiver dryer or accumulator, through the vaporizing device like the orifice tube, or expansion valve, then turns into a cold gas, which flows through the evaporator and back to the compressor. At the same time, an air blower pushes air through the evaporator, which is then cooled by the cold evaporator radiator like fins. There's always some thermal loss, but the system works fairly well. It works like a pump exchanger, by removing heat from refrigerant liquid. Different refrigerants are also in use today. There are still old systems out there that use the R12 refrigerant, which was banned by law years back. R134A or HFC 134A was required for all cars manufactured after 1996. Now, any car older than that needs to be retrofitted with a new system that can use the newer, safer refrigerant. Retrofitting requires the evacuation and storage of the old gas, a thorough cleaning, replacing some components like the evaporator to work with the newer R134A. Since R134A is less efficient, it needs a bigger evaporator. Then the system is recharged with new oil and the refrigerant charge measured to the ounce is given. The HVAC system can also be categorized into two sides, the high pressure and low pressure sides. The two sides are important because whatever issues are present with the AC system will reflect on the high and low pressure sides. The high pressure side is the direct output from the compressor, and the pressure here will raise if there are issues with the expansion valve or orifice tube, at the condenser or AC cooling fans, an overcharged system, or the wrong refrigerant being used. The low side is much more stable, and also reflects what happens with the expansion valve or orifice tube. The low side also includes the evaporator and blower components. All these components will be covered later on in the series.